Hey guys, it's Jane. It's Friday and I'm here for a super quick Friday reads. I haven't done a huge amount of reading this week, so that's why I can almost firmly promise that this is going to be quick. I finished one book, which was Skeen's Leap by Jo Lodge. I hope I've remembered her name right. I'll have the cover art here so you can tell whether or not I got it right. Won't that be exciting? This is a really fun adventure science fiction story. Nothing too deep, but yeah, very enjoyable. It's from the 80s again, I think, but it's not dated at all. It's the first in a trilogy, so I'm really looking forward to picking up the next couple of volumes. I got this from the Humble Bundle, Women of Science Fiction and Fantasy, a month or so ago. So the story follows Skeen, who is a ruiner, that is somebody who travels around the universe looking for artifacts from ruins that she can on-sell. So it's sort of part archaeological detective, part thief, part, sharp trader. The story opens with her in a bit of a pickle. She's on this strange world with no money. Her lover has abandoned her and run off with her spaceship, which she is dark about. And we never meet him in this book, but she talks about him all the time and how she was going to find him and, tell him exactly what she thinks of him, only not in quite that many words. And yeah, she is stuck in this, with the walls basically closing in on her. And in desperation, she escapes through a kind of portal to another world, a gate. And once she arrives on the other side of the gate, this world that she knows nothing about, the gate is closed, and the whole rest of the story is her on this sort of journey to try and find out how to reopen the gate. The world that she lands in is one where there have been a number of waves of colonization through the gate. And so there are all these cultures sort of superimposed upon one another. And as she sort of travels through the world, finding out things, meeting people, she kind of accrues this collection of shirt-tail relatives almost, people who are coming along with her trip for one reason or another. And it's quite funny. And she realizes that she needs to find somebody who knows about the gate technology, and the gates, I think, were set up by the first wave of imports, but these people who are kind of this bird-like aliens have almost disappeared. In fact, and now there is only really rumours of places where they still exist, and so she has to travel far in this world. It's a really enjoyable story, and lots of world building and different cultures and stuff. And the main character, Skeen, is a really fun character. So I really enjoyed this book. After I finished Skeen's Leap, I started in on a backlog of library books. I've had this because I've been working through some of my Humble Bundle books. I've had this backlog of library books that I requested. They've come through that I need to work off. And so the rest of this is, I've got 5 library books I'm going to tell you about. And all of these I have kind of picked up because of Booktuber recommendations. So this is going to be kind of like a mini shout out. End of the video. The one that I'm reading at the moment is Jackaby by William Ritter. I am about 2/3 of the way through and I'm really enjoying it. It's kind of halfway between a paranormal fantasy thing and a detective story set in the late 19th century in the United States. It's a lot of fun. Felicia from Little Prairie Library recommended this one. Looking back through Booktube, everybody and their dog in the YA community read it a couple of years ago, but of course I don't watch really that many YA Booktubers, so I didn't see it. And yeah, it's a YA story, but so far it doesn't have most of the annoying YA tropes, and I'm really enjoying it. So thank you, Felicia. I've got 4 other library books that I'm going to talk about that once I've finished Jackaby, I'll pick one. I'm not 100% certain which one I'm going to start with. I have got Agatha Christie's The Secret Adversary. This is an Agatha Christie I've never read before. It's the first Tommy and Tuppence mystery, and I have never read any of the Tommy and Tuppence stories, so that's going to be a brand new thing for me. Tanya from List Obsessed Reader recommended this, I don't know, more than a year ago, and I've had it on my list of things to look up, and yes, I've got that one this week. I have got The Burning Page by Genevieve Cogman. This is the 3rd in her Invisible Library series. Tara from Terabyte just read this, and it reminded me that I needed to get the 3rd one, and my library had it, so that was super exciting. So thank you, Tara. I also have Dark Orbit by Carolyn, Ives, Gilman. This is one that I've been on hold for quite a while. A number of people read this last year. I specifically remember Rachel from Calinardi talking about this one. It's a science fiction story. I'll read it and I'll tell you about it then. And the final one that I have is The Night Beat by Gini, Koch. And this is a backwards recommendation. On this week's Mailbag Monday, Thomas from SFF 180 picked out a Gini Koch book and talked about how this was one in this 15-volume series or whatever, and he'd tried reading the first one. It was terrible, but how he described it actually sounded like a lot of fun to me. So I went and looked, and my library doesn't have any of in that series, but it had this one by the same author, so I thought I'd give it a try. So thanks, Thomas, because sometimes even telling people why you don't like a book can recommend it to crazy people like me. Before I finish up, the other super exciting thing that happened in Thomas's Mailbag Monday this week is that he had his hands wrapped around a physical copy of the new Neal Stephenson, Nicole Galland collab, The Rise and Fall of D.O.D.O, and which means that it exists. Things that exist in the universe, I am not going to see it until the release date later in the year, but I'm very, very excited about that. That's what I'm doing. I would love to hear what you guys are reading. I hope you're all well, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.